When you look at the map of Europe, you may see that France is a relatively big country, and indeed it is. It's the second largest country in Europe, just behind Ukraine, spanning from the Atlantic and the English Channel in the northwest to the Mediterranean Sea in the southeast. And even though that's the perception of France of most people, the truth is the borders of France extend beyond these two bodies of water, and I mean far beyond. The French Empire may still be alive today. Here's why. Now, I know you're tired hearing this from other YouTubers, but I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, as it helps the channel grow and gives me motivation to make more videos such as this. Also, feel free to leave a comment, positive or negative. Constructive criticism or a simple piece of advice will help me develop as a creator. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, links to which are in the description below. Now, with the shameless plugs out of the way, let's get back to the video. To understand what I'm talking about, we need to discuss the administrative division of France. The country is divided into 18 regions, which are subdivided into 96 departments, and that's what we'll focus on. But when you look at the political map of France, let's count the regions, shall we? Hauts-de-France, Normandy, Île-de-France, Grand Est, Brittany, Pays de la Loire, Centre-Val de la Loire, Bourgogne-Franche-Comté, Nouvelle-Aquitaine, Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes, Occitania, Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur, Corsica. But wait, that's only 13. Where's the other 5 then? 2 of them can be found in the Caribbean. They're Guadeloupe and Martinique. The French took control of Guadeloupe in 1635, and except for a brief period of British and Swedish occupation during wars, the island had been firmly a French colony until 1946, when it became a department of France. In 1974 it was declared a region. Martinique was colonized by the French in the same year as Guadeloupe, and it also was temporarily controlled by the British for 21 years between 1794 and 1815, before being returned to France. Martinique was officially promoted to a region of France in 1946. Going further south, we can find the largest overseas department of France, French Guiana, located on the northern coast of South America, bordering Suriname and Brazil. With an area of 83,534 square kilometers, it's actually the second largest region in all of France, only behind Nouvelle-Aquitaine. The capital, Cayenne, was settled by the French in 1643, and the colony became the hub of French slave trade, with the population basically being founded on slavery. In the early 1800s, it was transformed to a penal colony and was incorporated as a French region in 1946. The status of French Guiana as a region rather than a territory gives France an unusual statistic. Despite being a European country by all means, its longest border is actually with Brazil, at 730 kilometers in length, with the second place France-Spain frontier at 623 kilometers. The remaining 2 regions are located on the Indian Ocean just east of Africa. Mayotte is an island located between Mozambique and Madagascar, and its current status is quite complicated. Mayotte was purchased by France in 1841 and made a colony alongside the nearby archipelago of what is now the Comoros. In 1973, France and Comoros agreed to hold an independence referendum for all the islands in the archipelago. The 1974 referendum saw Comoros become an independent state. However, Mayotte had other ideas and voted to stay as a French subject. Another referendum was held on the island 2 years later, which only solidified Mayotte's will. And despite the island remaining as part of France and being incorporated as a region in 2011 after another referendum, Comoros still claim Mayotte as part of their country to this day. Close to Mayotte is Réunion. Located just west of Mauritius, the small island was settled by France in the 17th century, was briefly ruled by the British again for 4 years from 1810 to 1814, and integrated as a French region in 1946. All these 4 islands and a big chunk of the rainforest on the northeastern coast of South America are the remaining 5 regions of France, which means that a citizen of Cayenne or Mamoudzou has the same rights and duties as a citizen of Paris or Chamonix. those overseas regions are treated the same way as regions in metropolitan France. They use euro as their currency and, yes, they are a part of the European Union. EU laws apply in all the regions, however, they are not part of the Schengen area. And even though all those regions lay south of the Tropic of Cancer, because they are treated the same way as metropolitan France, they are also a part of NATO. However, France has way more overseas outposts than just those 5 regions. These territories are classified into 5 overseas collectivities: French Polynesia and Wallis and Futuna in the Pacific, Saint Bartłomiej and Saint Martin in the Caribbean, and Saint Pierre and Miquelon in the North Atlantic. One sui generis or unique overseas collectivity, which is New Caledonia, and the unique status of New Caledonia is facilitated by the fact that people living there have both French and Caledonian citizenship. New Caledonia held 3 independence referendums in 2018, 2020, and 2021, all of which ended up with the citizens of the island choosing to stay with France. One overseas territory, French Southern and Atlantic lands, which consists of Kerguelen Islands, Crozet Island, St. Paul and Amsterdam Islands, and Adelie Land, the French claim in Antarctica. These lands are uninhabited or populated seasonally by scientists. And finally, one overseas state private property, the Clipperton Island, located on the Pacific off the coast of Mexico. The island is uninhabited and is under direct authority of the French Minister of the Overseas, who practically owns and controls the island. As of now, the minister in charge of the island is Jean-François Carenco. In international relations, these territories are classified as overseas countries and territories. That means they are not part of the EU. EU laws almost don't apply in all of these, and none of these are in the Schengen area. However, all citizens of these territories have EU citizenship. The Polynesian territories use CPF franc as their currency, while others use euro. However, there is one exception. Despite being on the same administrative level, Saint Martin is considered an outermost region of the EU, on par with the 5 overseas regions. That means Saint Martin is a part of the EU, uses euro as its currency, and the EU laws apply there as normal. All of these collectivities and territories, however, are not part of NATO. Now to answer the question that's in the title of this video, why can we call France an empire? Empires are usually ruled by, well, emperors, while France's head of state is the president. The fact that could make France the only true modern empire comes down to 2 factors, territorial and economical. When it comes to the territorial factor, it's clearly visible that France and its territories, although not interconnected, span quite a big chunk of territory, and it has outposts on almost all continents: Central America, North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Oceania, and even Antarctica. If you include Adelie Land in Antarctica, the French control a total land area of more than 1 million square kilometers. Besides that, France has huge influence in the Francophone area. French is one of the official languages in 28 other countries, and in 11 of these it's the only one. Its presence is especially prominent in sub-Saharan Africa, where 21 countries have French as primary or sole official language. When it comes to the economical factor, I need to talk about the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. In 1982, UNCLOS III was signed, which gave every country with a coastline 200 nautical miles of exclusive economic zone, in which states had exclusive rights to use and exploit any resources they found. Now, if you look at the metropolitan France, its EEZ doesn't look very impressive. However, if you zoom out, you can see the extent of the oceans that France has exclusive rights and control over. In fact, France possesses the largest EEZ in the world. So, what's the conclusion then? Can France be considered an empire? Well, you know my thoughts, but other people might have different opinions. So, I'm gonna leave this one ambiguous and let you decide for yourselves. See you in the next one.